Hi, I'm Lee, Laurie's husband. I guess most of you probably already knew that. Thank you for coming to Laurie's service. The kids and I decided that in lieu of a religious service, we decided to have an hour of remembrance. And what we'd like to do is if you have something funny, nice, or just a memory of Laurie you want to share, feel free to come on up. I know nobody wants to go first, so I've got the biggest mouth in the room, so I decided to go first. So I'm going to tell a few stories about Laurie and give you an insight into who she was. Laurie and I were married for 33 years. In that time, she was a kind, loving, wonderful person, would help anybody. She was mild-mannered, pleasant, generally pleasant to be around. But like everybody, she had some quirks. First one is Laurie did it Laurie's way. To steal my best friend Dave's joke, there was the right way, the wrong way, and the Laurie way. Two things illustrate this. Laurie was born 3 months early, 60 years ago. That's crazy. Now, Laurie had this tendency to, if she was going somewhere, she'd scout the route out first. And I'm pretty sure she was scouting the route out for when the big day came. She knew how to leave. No one told her it was a one-way street. So 59 years ago, out pops this screaming little infant about the size of a kitchen serving spoon. Throughout the rest of her life, Laurie did it Laurie's way. High school, college, work, marriage, etc. She did it her way. Another thing that illustrates that is why we're here. Probably 2/3 of the people in this room at some point told Laurie, you need to go to the doctor. She didn't. And here we are. Now, while that's horrible, Laurie lived her life on her terms, and Laurie died on her terms. I don't think... Sorry. I don't think I wish something better on anybody than to go out the way you want on your terms. All right, so Laurie was a great mom. Laurie told me early on in our relationship she didn't want to work. She wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And we made that happen. I have two great kids, Lizzie and Chris. Both are under 30. Lizzie's 28, Chris is 23. I firmly believe that my kids are as good as they are because my wife stayed home with them every day. Laurie took them to swimming, to the museum, to movies, to go-kart courses, miniature golfing. She just did stuff with them. Laurie was the cool mom. Those aren't my words. That was one of Lizzie's friends called her the cool mom. I think it was Kathleen. Seriously, my kids are amazing because of her. Now, let me just talk about my kids for a minute. Lizzie, 28, successful science teacher at City Charter High and just got her master's degree. Chris, 23, executive sous chef at the probably finest restaurant in Pittsburgh, owns his own home. Lizzie is in a stable, loving relationship with Zach. Chris has a cat. I'm kidding. They're great kids. Laurie, in addition to being a great mom, she was a great provider. She wanted to make sure that there was always enough in our house for people to eat and a variety of things to eat. Many of Chris's and Lizzie's friends would come over and hang out, and they'd get hungry, and they'd go down to our kitchen pantry. And they would discover that not only was there a lot of food, there was a lot of different kinds of food. Chances are, if you wanted a sneaky snack of some kind, we had it in mass quantities. I'm pretty sure Amazon's going to take a hit with Laurie no longer buying for them. Best story to lay this out was Christmas 2020. Laurie decided that the kids were going to get Reese's Christmas trees in their stocking. So she did what Laurie does in Laurie way. She went on Amazon, found the first multi-pack of Reese's trees she could find. Without looking at the price and without looking at how many were in the box, she put 3 of them in a cart, checked out, and went on her way. A couple days later, this ginormous box shows up my front porch. I bring in inside are 3 retail displays of Reese's Christmas trees. Each display, for whatever reason, has 76 Reese's trees in them. That is 228 Reese's trees. Laurie, who likes Reese's trees, but was also the kind of person who would eat one of something, because she liked variety, so she ate her one Reese's tree. So now we're down to 227 Reese's trees. We gave Reese's trees to everybody that Christmas. Chris's friends came over from college. I remember his one friend, Christian, just stuffing his pockets full of Reese's trees. We had so many trees. We had Reese's trees the following Christmas. Lastly, Mommy was a protector. Her phrase was, "Don't mess with Mama's babies." Nothing illustrates this better than a softball game Lizzie was in. It was down in Ingram. It was one of those championship games. I forget what it's called, but it was playing for third place. If you lost, you went home with third place. If you won, you went on to play for first. We were playing against Castle Shannon. The umpire was horrendous. The umpire kept making call after call against us. Egregiously bad. Not just, and I could see that, just horrible. This is not just me sour grapes. I was the bench coach that year and the scorekeeper, and the other team noticed the bad calls. And every time I'd go between innings and compare notes with your scorekeeper, he would say, "I'm so sorry, this is terrible, this shouldn't be happening," etc. Well, it all came to a head in the fifth inning. Lizzie's on first, Maya's on second, 2 outs. Someone comes up after Lizzie, I think it was Skittles, and pokes a line drive out into the center field. The girls on the base take off. Well, remember, it's second out, so all I have to do is get the whatever out's easiest. So this outfielder throws the ball into second to try to get Lizzie. Well, the throw was off the line, so the second baseman had to come off the line 5 feet to get the ball. The umpire, who's watching the lead runner, hears the ball hit the glove, without looking at the play at second, yells, "Out!" Well, needless to say, pandemonium ensues. Lizzie's standing in the back. "I'm safe. I'm not out. I'm not out. I'm safe." Maya's at third base. "She's not out. I'm not moving. I am not moving." I think Maya sat down in the bag. The girls in the dugout were screaming. The Elliott bleachers were going nuts. And then, over all this noise, I hear my wife start screaming. And I look up, and she's standing at the top of the bleachers yelling at this umpire. She starts with, "That's bullshit! Lizzie was safe!" And then she proceeded to continue to yell at this guy, and not only critique his umpiring skills, but critique his parentage, his haircut, his driving skills, anything. It was horrible. The umpire, after a couple minutes of this tirade, decides to storm off the field, walks past, says, "I don't get paid enough for this shit," and just left. Don't mess with Mama's babies. I love you, Laurie. Always will. So, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me speak. So I'm going to open up to anybody that has something to say. Something nice to say, funny to say about Laurie. Please come up and share it with us. We appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming tonight.